It's 7:03 on Friday, October 18th. We are in the 40s, even some 30s out there, going to the upper 60s today. Good morning, I'm John Aaron.
I'm Michelle Basch. Our top local story, a big construction company is accused of polluting the Anacostia River, and it's now being sued by D.C. WTOP's Scott Gelman has reaction from a group that works to protect and restore that river.
This isn't just an environmental case. This is a human health case.
Trey Sherrod with Anacostia Riverkeeper explains that's because D.C. residents are directly impacted by what's in the water.
These toxins don't stay put. They move from the site, and they move within the environment, and they do find their way into people's bodies.
In a 10-page lawsuit, D.C.'s Attorney General is accusing Fort Myer Construction of contaminating the city's stormwater system with runoff. They've allegedly been doing it since 2015. Sherrod says the toxins are endangering wildlife and us too.
Whether that's a fish that's eaten by someone in the district or someone around the corner downstream of the Potomac.
Assistant Deputy Attorney General Will Stevens.
People use that for fishing. People would like to be able to swim and make use of the water.
Scott Gelman, WTOP News.
We have reached out to the company for comment. So far, we have not heard back.
Winter officially starts in just over a month, so how much snow can we expect? WTOP's John Doman reports on predictions for our region from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
If you're a snow lover, I have some bad news.
We are figuring above normal temperatures along the eastern seaboard, including the D.C. metro area.
John Gottschalk's the head of forecast operations with NOAA. His forecast is influenced by what's referred to as La Nina, which sees cold waters in the Pacific Ocean push the jet stream further north. That means colder and wetter conditions in the Great Lakes and northern plains are more likely, and it's less likely that we'll see coastal storms that bring us big bunches of snow. Of course, as he noted,
less likely outcomes must occur from time to time.
Confidence levels aren't as high this year as they are in other years either. John Doman, WTOP News.
Election 2024 on WTOP. Maryland Democrats are pressing Republican U.S. Senate candidate Larry Hogan to do more to explain what they say was a serious ethical breach during his time as governor. WTOP's Mitchell Miller has more today on the Hill.
Democratic U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen is among those who say Hogan's response to a recent story has been insufficient.
The people of Maryland deserve answers because this clearly raises very serious ethical questions.
Time magazine reported last week that when Hogan was governor, nearly 40% of competitive affordable housing contracts went to clients of his real estate brokerage firm. Supporters of Hogan's Democratic opponent, Angela Alsobrooks, are trying to keep the story alive as the election gets closer. Alsobrooks recently had to respond to reports about failing to pay taxes on properties she owned. As for Hogan, he has denied any conflict of interest. On Capitol Hill, Mitchell Miller, WTOP News.
New limits on how much your rent can go up have kicked in part of the region. WTOP's Michelle Murillo says it's happening in Prince George's County.
Annual rent hikes are capped at 6% or less for many under the Permanent Rent Stabilization and Protection Act of 2024. Prince George's County says the hope is that a limited rent increase will provide a balance between making sure renters aren't burdened with steep hikes while also giving landlords increases needed to maintain their properties. Exceptions to the new law include rental units built in the 2000s, units in medical, religious, and nonprofit facilities, hotels, dorms, some group homes, and certain condos. Michelle Murillo, WTOP News.
Many people are leaving Maryland. Roughly 200,000 people left Maryland for other states last year, with Virginia and Pennsylvania being the most common landing spots. The Census Bureau says the other most popular destinations were Florida, Texas, California, and North Carolina. But the Baltimore Banner reports Maryland's population actually grew last year by about 16,000 people, thanks in part to a big boost from international migrants.
Coming up,
do your kids have more money than you did at their age? I'm Jeff Claybaugh.
Traffic and weather in 30 seconds.